So excited.
It could go either way. We don't know.
We could actually travel for miles and have this conversation, Wendy. So happy day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. All the gratitude in the world. And I hope that you're having a fabulous day and looking forward to a wonderful weekend. Wherever you happen to be, whenever you happen to watch this, I just want to encourage you to enjoy the day. And today we have Wendy Gilhula. Did I pronounce that name?
Gilhula.
All right. Wendy is an amazing individual that I've been connected with on LinkedIn for a while. And I wanted to share some of her wonderful gifts with the world. And she's somewhat new to this video thing going on, but she's an author, speaker, and just doing some amazing things out there. And Wendy, thank you so much for being on the Pirate Broadcast and being a pirate now. How are you today?
Is it official? Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, you're now a pirate.
Oh, I'm so excited. And I had this just made for the show.
Cool.
Is Pika Bunny wants to know if he's a pirate too.
Yes, Pika Bunny is now a pirate. So fantastic. So let's talk about Pika Bunny. That's one of your big projects that you have going on right now, or it's been an ongoing project. Talk about the inception of where that started and how it evolved over time, and what your plans are with that.
Well, it originally started the writings almost 3 decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote Pika Bunny has a big question, but he wasn't really Pika Bunny then. He was Jack. He was a white rabbit with long ears, and nobody knew I was doing that. And I sent it to a publisher, and it got rejected because the publisher said that kindness was not relevant. Well, you have to remember, this is, Mr. Rogers is still on every day, and we didn't really have to teach kindness anymore. So it actually is a blessing that it didn't get published back then, because I feel like it's really needed. It's very relevant now. So
yeah, and it's so needed. I think it's so needed too. So tell us about, for those that aren't familiar with Wendy and your story, what's the story about, and who is the audience, and what is the motivation behind it? I mean, you've been doing this for 3 decades. You've been evolving this story, and it's always been around kindness, and it's always been around, storytelling, and so it's really needed right now. So what are your thoughts, or what's your mission this year for getting the word out?
Well, I actually have a mission statement, and my husband helped me with that, and it's to help children navigate a difficult world. So I actually have a book series. My first book, Pika Bunny and the Thunderstorm, talks about anxiety with an approaching thunderstorm. And that's pretty popular if I go to hospitals, because it's more than just a thunderstorm. It could be any kind of thunderstorm in your life that you have to think about whether or not you're going to be anxious about it, and if you can find anything positive in it, and then you can kind of rest in it when you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then Pika Bunny has a big question is about kindness, and then Pika Bunny Says Eep is the book that just came out last year that talks about finding courage to say no to bullying. So my career started as a dance instructor and a choreographer. So I was able to tell all my stories through dance. And then I kind of segued into math tutoring. And then one of my students, Adam, said to me, or he just asked me innocently, "What do you do all day when you're not tutoring?" I know, it's fine. He was in middle school, so I get it.
Yeah.
In my head.
What do you do all day?
I know, what do you do all day? Well, in my head, I said, I write books that kids are never going to read. And then, on the outside, I said, well, you never know what Mrs. Gilhula is doing. And then I didn't like that answer in the inner dialogue. So I pulled the manuscripts out of the bottom of a drawer, which
Uh-huh.
survived me throwing them away a few times and putting them back in the drawer. And I thought, nobody knows I've written these.
Yeah.
Publisher's not going to remember me. So I'm just going to brush it off, edit it some, send it off, see what happens.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of no's, which, is normal. And I wasn't upset with the no's anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
and then when I got a yes, I was like, wait, what? What's going on? And then my kids were like, wait, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
Like, well, I've written these books a couple decades ago. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been really, really fun. And I thought, getting the books and holding the book for the first time, like that was going to be it. That was like the end of the rainbow.
Right.
And then I realized, wow, when I go to talk to schools, how needed and how open the kids are to have these conversations. And now it's like the rainbow's been pushed way back, and I have more goals, and it's just been amazing. And I thank everybody here on LinkedIn for all the support, the support. It's just been amazing.
Well, I think some of the activities that you opened up, when you come to the realization that, every experience, good or bad, like thunder, is a kind of a starting point to think or experience something different. Even in your bad experiences, in tragedy and some difficult circumstances, there's always something that you can take away that is positive if you're looking for the positive side of the outcome. And with yourself, with the storytelling, one of the things that I want to take away from this and share is the fact that you didn't give up. You put it on pause until it was the right time, and then all of a sudden it became the right time, and it opened up, and it was the start of the rainbow, not the end of the rainbow, right? And the fact that so many people are really starving for that idea that, a little kindness and compassion, a little time, effort, and energy can go into, doing something positive. And I applaud you for that, and thank you for showing up in the community and sharing your gifts with us, Wendy. Appreciate that.
I just love your show because you bring all these people on that want to help, or lots of people who share kindness that you have in your heart, and that's what got me watching. I was like, wait a minute, this guy likes kindness too. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Shelly with her hashtag decide to be kind, and it's just been really fun.
Yeah. In fact, I want to say hello to a few people here that you got in the show. Saritha, Gabriel, I heard that you were looking for help on podcasting. Shoot me a message. I'll be happy to help you out. Lori, Vivek, Carolina, Kate, Tim. Oh, all these people. Kimberly. The amazing thing about this, Wendy, is the fact that we can be here. You're in Tennessee. I'm in Houston, and we can share this with the world. Anybody with an opportunity to get online, and then it's shared other places. And I think I see, if you watch the news, you think everything's going to, just like every time you watch the news, it's all bad news because that's what sells. Yeah. And I think there's a huge opportunity for us to at least plant seeds out there that kindness is cool, and things are not bad, and people generally have a very kind heart and want to help each other and support each other. And I'm sure that you've found support in your journey here on LinkedIn.
Oh, of course I have. There's too many people to name, just too many people. I want to touch on what you were saying about, the technology and everything. So I've been able to read via Skype and Microsoft as a Microsoft educator in over 13 countries.
Wow.
Yeah. And, nobody would ever have dreamt that, or somebody dreamt of this, I guess, a long time ago, made it a reality. But as I was doing one of the Skype readings for a classroom, there was a little boy on the second row, and he had a "Kindness is Cool" T-shirt, and the reading hadn't started yet,
Uh-huh.
and he was doing something not nice to the boy next to him. So I guess that he thought it was a TV show or something. I don't know. But then I was like, "Oh, you on the second row in the what does your shirt say?" Although I could read it. He goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, kindness is cool." And I thought, okay, there's irony there, but I'm not going to like call him out on it. So then I started thinking, like, how many times a day am I kind? I was just wondering, like, how could I, like, what could I do with that?
Uh-huh.
And then I decided one day I just woke up before my feet hit the floor. I was like, I'm going to make an app. I'm going to make a Pika Bunny kindness tracker, and it's going to track areas of school, home, and our planet. And so it's free. So if anybody after this wants to get on, I have it for iOS and Google on Google Play for Android. So it's free, and it doesn't track you. You don't have to sign up for anything.
Yeah.
So it got pretty popular on LinkedIn. And a lot of my LinkedIn friends were saying, "Oh, I'm using it." Like Mimi said, "I'm using it for myself instead of school. I'm saying work." And then Shelly with her just hashtag decided to be kind. So I'm making a version for adults to use workplace, home, and our planet. So look for that coming out probably in March.
Oh, that's fantastic. I will make sure that I'm aware of this, and I'll share it. We'll come back and we'll talk about it when you launch. And
oh, great! Oh,
being a pirate and all, you gotta have some perks there. So
thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, thank you.
So all of a sudden you have the stories. You're reading stories to kids around the world via Skype, and all of these things are going on. So, on a day-to-day basis, are you going to be writing additional stories for the future going forward?
Yes. So I have a manuscript for my first chapter book. Because, when I was at several. Sorry, I'm so excited to be here. I'm sorry. I was at several schools, and they were like, "Well, are you doing chapter books? Are you doing chapter books? We want to grow up with Pika Bunny." And I was like, "Ooh!" So I have my first chapter book manuscript is out right now to a couple of places. So hopefully I'll get a yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I'm starting the chapter book series for advanced readers for grade 1 through grade 3.
Oh yes.
And I'm working on 2 other manuscripts for my learning series.
Oh, fantastic. So the learning series, talk a little bit about that, what that brings to the table.
That's where I have the books with anxiety and so the additional books will have like issues like being afraid at school and things like that.
Bullying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how do you typically share this information with an audience? How do you work your outreach program? What does that look like for us so we can help you?
Well, I started out with Instagram. I mean, I'm on Instagram, and most of my followers are teachers.
Okay.
And Microsoft Education, they had a website, but they changed it over where I had two lessons. I had one for big question about love, and then I have my other one for bullying. So teachers could sign up and get free readings. So that's how I started. And then now I'm in schools a little bit more often, which I love. I'd love to be in schools. So if anybody wants a school visit, you can go to my website, wendygilhula.com, or find me here. Please find me here. I'm here all the time.
Connect with Wendy on LinkedIn. It's a pretty simple equation.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the beauty of the pirate broadcast of being a pirate is the fact that we're streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and LinkedIn, which I think my LinkedIn numbers have gone down because I'm sharing on other platforms. I don't know. Maybe an algorithm thing. I don't know. It just seems like when I first launched live, the numbers were really big, and then they just continually,
But your
flatten out.
schedule is like way out. And I don't even know why you were surprised. Like for like this week, you're like, I'm scheduled out until what is it, March or April?
Yeah.
Like, why is he surprised?
I'm booking March now.
Surprised to us. Surprised to you.
Well, that's a great point. And that's the part of the learning series that you're developing is people get so involved in their own head that they fail to understand and see what others see of them. Right. And it's one of those things that you tell yourself a story that is not necessarily accurate. And it takes other people to be able to say, hey, we like this. We enjoy what you're doing. And sometimes, I'm just going through here experimenting and seeing what happens. And, I love highlighting people like yourself, Wendy, because I think the world needs it. I just know that it's a good thing to do, and I enjoy it and I have fun with it. And and I hope people enjoy it. So it brings me joy. So that's what's important.
Well, I think that we were all born kind.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're around my age, I think kindness kind of grew out of our hearts sometimes.
Yeah.
Or in a way where it's scary to be kind. Maybe.
Vulnerable.
Yes, because, we might hurt somebody's feelings, or somebody might take our intentions the wrong way. Or
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to maybe bring that back for adults.
Yeah.
Because it does feel good to be kind.
Well, and I think just simple things, like please and thank you. And, if you have somebody that's waiting on your table, if you're at a restaurant or something, I always have the habit of asking the individual's name so I can say, thank you, fill in
Right.
the blank. And notice people, open doors, return your carts, put your trash away, just simple things, everyday things. And I think when we're young, it's just naturally there. And then through life, the baggage of life we carry around kind of filters out that kindness. And then we become protective of our space and our thoughts and what we're doing. And like, if you go through a grocery store and you start trying to say hello to people in the aisles as you're going down, or good morning or good afternoon or have a nice day or anything, people will avoid contact. Like,
They'll be a little afraid. I know. I'm one that I might say something, and then people are like, and I'm like, well, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just.
Yeah, I've posted on this many, many times. It's like you're out on a trail someplace, you're both hiking,
Yeah.
you're both out in the wild, and it's like you're passing somebody on a trail and you're saying hello. And sometimes they don't say hello, they don't respond or anything like that. And I just think that's interesting. So it's like, and so the baggage that we've developed over the years is just so powerful. And I think that we can break that down a little bit through stories like what you're doing with Pika Bunny, and just challenging the idea that should be normal. And I don't know that should be normal. I think kindness is cool, and that we should share it more often. So.
Absolutely. And it's really fun to hear the kids' answers about how can we be kind at school. They're so sweet, especially like the kindergartners and the first graders will go,
Yeah.
you can help somebody when they fall down. And I'm like, I'm getting old, so if I fall down, you're going to help me up, right? Yeah, I'll help you too.
Oh.
Just to have that heart back is
Yeah.
kind of puts a little spark in your day.
Yeah, it does. And it really allows us to actually share that again. It's hard to be in a bad mood when you're helping somebody out of a bad mood. Does that make sense? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when somebody says, that's the first smile I've seen today. And you're like, and then you get sad for them. I'm like, wow. And then you get sad for everybody. Like, wow, there are not even enough smiles out there.
Yeah, smiles are free, right?
Right.
Smiles are free.
Smiles are free.
Take one down and pass it around, right?
Kindness is cool. Smiles are free.
Yeah.
I know who says that?
Yeah, somebody says that, I know.
Somebody.
So let's talk about your journey on LinkedIn, because being in the educational space and being with teachers a lot of times, I imagine they're more reserved on LinkedIn than most audiences, most communities.
Yeah.
However, that may or may not be the case, because I may not be aware of everything that happens in other people's communities. But what's your LinkedIn journey look like? What's the process for you? What has been the process for you?
Well, I had joined years ago.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just for resumes and, finding jobs. And I don't know why I got on around September or October. I got on, and then I started realizing that it was now a community. Like, wow, where people were reaching out and they were talking about that, value. I don't know when people started talking about value, but I heard it a lot in September and October. And I just got on board with that because I thought, oh wow, this is great. Like this is right up my alley, talking about, things that are kind and helping somebody and maybe hopping on a call for 30 minutes. Doug Thompson hopped on a call with me. One of my goals for 2020 is to have a TEDx talk, and we had connected, and he's like, I'm happy to hop on a call with you. And I was like, people do that?
Yeah, absolutely. People do that.
Fun call. And I've spoken with Carla Howard, and and Carla called me the other day, and I was like, Carla Howard's calling me. And so what we're doing is we're organizing a LinkedIn local event in Knoxville for this fall.
Oh, wonderful.
We're still in like the venue stage. So if you're listening from Knoxville, let me know if you know of a good venue that might be good for a LinkedIn local.
Oh, and fantastic.
It feels like it was baby steps. And then all of a sudden, I'm running. I don't know where I'm running to, but not sure.
Let's keep running.
With scissors. I'm running with scissors on LinkedIn.
We'll pick the destination later.
Watch out. I don't know, but made some great connections, and I'm helping people too. So
yeah, well, and it's so exciting to me to think that there are other people out there, and it's one of those things where you say, okay, riches are in the niches, right? Well, kindness is not necessarily something I would consider a niche. However, a lot of people may not necessarily think about it, and with finding other people in the audience and the community and the people that are surrounding us, there's a whole opportunity for people to say, okay, yeah, I buy into this idea. It's not for, I'm not selling you a box of kindness or anything like that. It's not a container or package I can put anything on. However, I think it's more of a movement than anything. I think we need to start thinking about it, start focusing, and start talking about it and saying, okay, all of this, because social media has a lot of comparison involved in it, a lot of, I wish I was where they are, and it's not necessarily a good thing. So if we could just focus on the kindness and being who we are and doing what we're doing, I think we're going to be more satisfied about life in general. And I think we need to start having those conversations. And it's on both ends of the spectrum. It's like, I'm not good enough, or I'm being bullied, So I think we need to continue those conversations and bring to light the ability to feel good about who we are and what we're doing.
Well, that's funny that, you're saying that, because I totally agree. And you had Richard Moore on your show, and I'm a fan of his too, and I'm not even in sales. I started watching his lives, and I'm learning stuff, and I'm like, wow, like I don't have the sales gene. This is great. And then he was on your show, and I was like, I'm a fan, and I'm not even in sales. So You meet so many people you normally wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And you just go with the ones that are, I go with the ones that are being positive.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't necessarily trying to promote kindness, but just the positivity I
Yeah.
get back during the day,
Yeah.
makes it worth my time.
Well, and that's really one of the foundations of what I want to do is bring the diversity to the table. It's like, people on LinkedIn that are helping others learn more about LinkedIn, and like Richard is in sales, and I've got other people that are looking at branding and kindness in general, and just really opening it up. Like Carol Campos, she's energy. She's really into a lot of the spiritual stuff. So all of these ideas, if we could continue to learn and explore and understand how other people are thinking and some of the ideas that they're bringing to the table, then maybe our guard's going to be down about some of the opinions that we hold on to, and maybe open up to the world and saying, there's some other ideas out there that exist that are okay.
Exactly. We can learn something.
Yeah.
We can learn something if we just, open up, don't have those walls up. Like Lila Smith, every time I talk to her, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to write it down. Every time I talk to her, I have to write down what she's saying because she has so many great things to say.
Oh, yeah.
And I never would have met her if I wasn't here.
Yeah. And yeah, I enjoy Lila's work, and she's always so elegant in her responses and her communication, and so she's a really great one. And then people like all over the world, like John Asperian over in the UK, and Richard's another one, and these people are putting out ideas. Vicky O'Neill is another one here that is constantly in Sherry Lawley and Kenyatta Turner and all of these individuals that are bringing joy to the world and putting it in place. And Lori Knutson, she's been on a couple of times. She's a two-time pirate. So, and these individuals
in person.
Oh, you have met her in person?
No, I said we should all get together in person.
Yes, we really, yes.
We need to get together.
We need to get that together. So let's do that. So Derek Monroe, Angie Schumann, another one, brilliant. Joy McAdams, hi, how are you? Kimberly, just all of these. Tim Sultan, good morning. The fact that we're here and have the opportunity to share this and just have a conversation and just hang out a little bit, Wendy, it's really been amazing for me, and it brings a lot of joy. It's a great way for me to start the day. It's just, I enjoy it. So I want to
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I want to ask you, so you have a couple of manuscripts out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to continue to pursue the lessons and the learning episodes. Mm-hmm. How can we help you in the LinkedIn community? What's something that we can put our minds together and put out there? And how can we assist you in your journey?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. Well, yeah. I have done all of this without an agent. So I'm still looking for an agent that will believe in Pika Bunny and my stories. So if anybody knows of anybody who I can query, I'd be very grateful. I have my manuscripts out to 9 Story. Mm-hmm. And also Fred Rogers Productions is aware of my work. Mm-hmm. My ultimate goal, this is really hard to say. Okay, this is your fault, Russ, because you had Michelle on last week.
Uh-huh.
And she, do your ask, ASK.
Yeah.
And was I ready for it? And I talked to Michelle too. And so now my ask
She's a firecracker.
She is. Oh, and I'm so this is your fault, Russ. So no, I'm just kidding. My ultimate goal is I would love to have a TV series. My idol growing up, my TV dad was Mr. Rogers.
Uh-huh.
I can't be Mr. Rogers. I can't write anything to replace Mr. Rogers' work.
Yeah.
But he spoke to me. I mean, it was really me he was talking to. So I want to pay it forward to one child. I want them to know that I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
So when I'm reading on Skype, like I love the questions. I'd love for them to come up to the computer and actually talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I was at a school reading and I had my microphone, and I love to if they have a question, I go up. If they have a big question for me, I go up with the microphone. I look them right in the eye, I see them, and I just want to give that back.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and it will happen. So, every dream starts with an idea, and the only difference between a dream and a reality is taking action, and you're doing that every day. So just continue to do that and put your foot forward and push forward and get your ass together.
Yes, it's together. Michelle helped me do that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that, Wendy. So, Wendy, if you had to leave one thing with us today, and it's, you want to plant the seed for something and going forward, what would you want to share with everyone?
I want to share that it takes a lot of courage to do something new. And if you have a story in your heart or something, or some inner dialogue you're telling yourself, I wish I was doing that. To just take that baby step and ask yourself why you want to do it. And then ask yourself how you can take a baby step toward it. So it could be researching something. It could be, whatever's in your inner dialogue that doesn't feel comfortable, that you want to do something different and new. I just encourage you to find that courage to take that first step and don't look back.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Wendy, for being here. And for anyone else that is joining us today live, gratitude, all the gratitude in the world. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching the replay and you hear this, please do follow the Pirate Broadcast, the hashtag at LinkedIn, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, anything, or go to russjohns.com and get notifications on the next episode that comes out. I look forward to sharing this broadcast out with anywhere, everywhere. And this afternoon, it'll be available, Wendy, it'll be on my post and a podcast. So it'll be on all the podcast.
Thank you. I'll be happy to share.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Wendy. And kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day.